Today, I am going to be showing you guys my brand new 7-foot stretch big that gets gold limitless range, gold anchor, and Hall of Fame rebound chaser. This build is an insane shooter that can shoot from well beyond the hash, and not only that, but it is an excellent defender as well, especially when it comes to protecting the paint. But with all of that out of the way, let's get started. Actually, before we get started, I just want to provide a little bit of clarification before we get into the video, because I uploaded this video at a pretty bad time because another content creator by the name of Brother Jones uploaded a very similar build to mine a couple days ago. Now, to not make it look like I just stole the build, I'm going to provide a little bit of proof to show you guys that I made this build prior to his video coming out. So currently, I am recording this video on January 19th, which is also going to be the exact same day that this video will release. And you can see that I have about 2 days left from my workout boost. Now, this workout boost lasts for about 7 days. And with that in mind, Brother Jones's video came out on January 16th, which was 3 days ago. So that means I was already in my workout boost when his video came out. So I made this build and I did the workout on this build prior to his video coming out. That's the best I could do when it comes to clarification. Obviously, I have clips that are dated prior to when his video came out, but this was just the quickest and easiest way to show you guys that I did make this build prior to his video coming out and I didn't just steal the build. But now let's actually get started. You're going to want to make this build at the power forward position to get the build name that you're going to see at the end of this video. When it comes to the body settings, you're going to go with the height of 7 foot, weight 275 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan, and I ended up going with a build body shape to make the boy extra thick. So now when it comes to the finishing, you're going to get a 75 close shot, which is going to get you fast twitch on silver, an 80 driving dunk, which will get you quick drop offs off 1, as well as straight arm tomahawks, which are the best dunk packages that you can use at this rating, while also having silver limitless takeoff. You're also going to get an 80 standing dunk on this build, which is going to get you the basic big man contact dunks, which is pretty crazy to have, especially considering this build is a stretch. Now, normally at this part of the video, this is where I would start showing you guys some of the finishes that I was able to get on this build with the dunking and the layups and all that, but there's a problem. I was spotting up way too much on this build and I got absolutely 0 finishing highlights through over 100 clips that I sorted through. None of them were finishing, none of them were dunking whatsoever. So there's going to be a lot of shooting, a lot of playmaking, a lot of defense in this video. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the My Player Builder and show you the shooting capabilities. So now when it comes to the shooting, you're going to get an 82 mid-range, which is going to get you Midi Magician on Hall of Fame at an 81 and an extra badge point at an 82. And then you're going to get a 92 three-pointer on this build, which is going to get you limitless range on gold. And as you've seen in some of those highlights already in the first part of this video, you can shoot from deep on this build, but let's get back to it. Now, during all of these shooting highlights, I was using 2 separate jump shots, and if you want to see those jump shots, they're going to be in my most recent YouTube short, but I highly recommend you go check that out because both of these are the best stretch big jump shots that I have seen because they both have an A+ release speed, while still having a really good timing impact as well as defensive immunity and release height. But as you can see here, we can take some shots off the dribble as well. Right here, we're going to drive past our opponent, hit the little KD fade in the mid-range, and that's an easy bucket. Now, another really important thing that you're going to see throughout these shooting highlights is that even though I have no post control on this build, if you know how to work in the post, you could still hit all of your fades and your post hop shots as you saw right there. And again, with those jump shots, like I told you guys, you can hit some pretty contested shots. I highly recommend that you go check out that YouTube short to see the jumpers. But as you've seen, we're able to take the moving shots on this build, the standstill shots from deep range. So I think you can understand that the shooting is pretty good on this build. So let's move on to the playmaking. Now, moving on to the playmaking, we're going to get a 76 pass accuracy, which is going to be enough to get you the LeBron James passing style as well as break starter on gold. Now, the passing that you're going to see in this segment is going to be a combination of some half-court sets. Right here, I'm getting double teamed, and we're going to kick this out to the shooting guard, and he's going to hit this shot. But like I was saying, this is going to be a combination of passing out of half-court sets and hitting open shooters, or situations like this right here, where we're grabbing the rebound and we're throwing the ball out on the fast break with that gold break starter, and we're trying to get some transition points. And with these fast break opportunities, you're going to also be able to see how good that 99 defensive rebound is with Hall of Fame rebound chaser, because in these clips, I did have both of those things. And I'm not not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive how well this build rebounds. I mean, granted, it is still 7 feet tall with Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser, but the build has a minimum wingspan. But it's nice to see that even with this build, I'm snagging over opponents and teammates when it comes to getting boards and then throwing the outlet pass to get us some easy buckets. But with that being said, I think it's pretty clear that the rebounding as well as the playmaking is very solid on this build. So now let's move on to the defense, which is another great part of this build. So now moving on to the defense, you're going to see we get an 80 interior defense, a 54 perimeter defense, and a 61 steal, a 93 block, which is going to get us anchor on gold, a 70 offensive rebound, and a 99 defensive rebound, which is going to get us Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser. Now, I understand there's going to be a couple of people in the comments that are going to say that I didn't upgrade the offensive rebound enough, but you got to understand with my play style and where I'm going to be positioned on offense, it's going to be very difficult for me to get offensive rebounds because on this build, I want to spot up at the hash, which means I'm going to be shooting from almost limitless range, if not limitless range, most of the game. So there's no point in me having a high offensive rebound if I'm going to be spotting up 30-35 feet out from the rim. There's just no reason. I would rather get the Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser and that 99 defensive rebound so I can snag boards on defense and then still contribute my part on offense. Now let's take a look at these defensive highlights right here. We're guarding this man in the paint, in the post. He's trying to pump fake me. He kicks it out to the shooter. We're there for the contest on the shooter, but he gets the O board, and now we're in the paint getting a block on him again. And well, nobody else on my team was there to try and get a rebound, so it was pretty much just a 1-on-3. Everybody was trying to run the break all at once, even though nobody was there to try and snag the board. So I mean, hey, stuff happens, especially when you're playing with randoms. But right here, now we're in that post defense. He's trying to drop step us. I don't even have post move lockdown on, and let me give you guys a little tip when it comes to guarding 99% of inside centers. Listen here, just play hands up defense at first, because most of these inside centers are always pump faking that first one and going right up on the second. So get ready for him to pump fake that first one. Stay patient, stay in position, and that, because that's the most important thing when it comes to guarding these inside bigs. You got to understand time is on your side. They're going to be the ones getting called for an offensive 3-sec, not you. So make sure that you kind of just give them the worst look possible every single time. If they hit a standing dunk over you while you have your hands up, it is what it is. If they get a contested close shot over you when you're playing hands up defense, it is what it is. If they get a close shot with 40-50% contest, there's only so much you can do. You got to understand paint defense is not that great in this game, and then be smart when it comes to timing your blocks. Understand that these inside bigs are not going to go up with it on the first time unless if they're really bad at the game or they really think they have you beat when getting to the rim. So use your blocks smartly, because again, you're going to lose adrenaline from that as well, but you can play decent defense as long as you put your hands up. But now let's show the final version of this build. So now here's the build fully maxed out. You're going to get 14 finishing badges, 25 shooting badges, 9 playmaking, and 26 defensive badges on this build. If you do want to use any of the tier 3 finishing badges, I highly recommend that you put 2 of your badge points into finishing, so you can use silver rise up or silver fast twitch. But then when it comes to the remaining badges that you do have, you can either put them into shooting or defense. That's going to be up to you. I ended up putting them into defense because I'm going to use my double core pattern on shooting, which means I'm going to be able to core 2 shooting badges, which was the level 40 reward from last season. So that's how I ended up making this build. But let me show you the takeovers that I am going to use. All right, so now when it comes to the takeover options, you get sharpshooting, rim protecting, and glass cleaning takeovers on this build. And the 2 takeovers that I chose for this build was limitless range at the primary takeover slot and box out wall at the secondary slot. So now this build is complete. You're going to come out of the My Player Builder and get the player comparisons of Derek Coleman, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Evan Mobley. And you're going to get the build name Stretch 4 on this build, which I think is pretty cool because you're not just a Stretch 4, you're pretty much a 2-way because you get that gold anchor, that Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser, which is going to be super fun to have on this type of build. But that's going to be it for today's video. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.